How are you doing? Good to hear that. I'm all right. Thank you for asking. Sunny days at the moment. They're like London buses. You don't see any for ages, and all of a sudden, two come along at once. Too good to ignore. So I put my hand out and jumped on high above Loch Lomond, and it's closer to the south, which makes a change. So you can, well, in the distance down there is Balloch, and then you come up and you can see Inchmarine, and that'll be Inchconnecan, no doubt. And a beautiful colour, absolutely delightful. So I was just wondering, what shall I do? I mean, the weather looks okay tomorrow night, but I've got a few busy days ahead of me, so I just thought I'm going to steal a march. I'm going to take my chances. It's midweek, Wednesday night, and well, I'll tell you a little bit more about where I'm going to go when we get closer to the top. But it looks like a nice night again for another summit camp, so fingers crossed all's well. There's a little bit of a breeze around tonight, so I don't know how windy it's going to be whilst up there, but that won't spoil the fun. It's beautiful. It's lovely to have you along. Thank you for coming. Shall we do this together? Come on. Well, I'm getting there now, not too far off the top, and it is quite windy and cool with it. It's a chilly easterly, is that one. Don't stand for long, but lovely views. You can see all the southern, western, eastern shores of Loch Lomond, and well, it's beautiful. Okay, not too far now, we'll crack on. It's 6:45. I like to think I'll be at the top by 6 o'clock. Well, hello. Just bear with me a second. I think I've got a cap to put on. Right, as he's up, and I'm going to camp here. There's an easterly, northeasterly coming down the loch. So I've got this little patch here, and I think it'll just offer me a little bit of wind protection. I'm not right on the summit, which I need a bit of protection. And as you can see, I've got great views up and down the loch. So if I can get a nice flat pitch here, it'll be a good place to stay for the night. I'm up, it's all tent pitched up. I've got a view directly of Beinn Dubh in front. You've seen all this anyway. And down the loch, it's 20 to 7, all good. Good news. While the King and Queen were being kept busy by Charles and Camilla, I managed to sneak these down the straights. Good health. Oh, I'll tell you what, I've had something to eat, not a lot, but just something to warm myself up, and just popped out just to put the drone up. I'll show you that now. And it's just too cold. It's just so cold to be messing around in this wind. It's very cold. It's the lightest of breezes, but directly from the east, and it's cold. I'm not going to mess around. I'm going to get back in my tent. It's going to be one of those do's, I'm afraid. But anyway, I got the drone up a little bit, as you see, and it's a beautiful camp. I'll set the camera up for a night lapse. There is a full moon. I don't know if it's on the way up or on the way down, but I shall point it north. We can see what we can get. Welcome back. What time is it, Mr. Wolf? 8:30. It's much nicer in here. I've got a bit of a glow coming on, although my hands are quite cool. I'll just having a think. I think this is the 4th or 5th camp that I've had in this tent now, and apart from the modifications on the guy lines and all that kind of stuff, it's still a very good tent. There's a couple of things. Well, there's one thing I need to point out to you. In all those camps, I have yet to actually camp with my head in the head end. For some reason, it's always been, the view's been that way or the slope's been that way, so I've always had my head in the foot end, and it's not a problem. It'd have been nice if it had been a symmetrical tent, so there'd be less pressure, because all the pockets are down that side. So it'd have been nice if it had been, you know, there'd have been symmetry and pockets out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a gear loft as well for this up here. It looks quite simple to do and that kind of thing. And again, what that kind of does is that if I do find myself always with my head in the foot end, I've got a stash above me, so I'm going to do that. But other than that, it's good. I mean, I've yet to have it out in really windy. But I think it's going to stand up to it, and weight-wise, it's very good. So, all good so far. A sound purchase, I think. I thought it was meant to be summer. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it's freezing cold. Right, I'm done. I'm settling down. It's just after 9 o'clock. I've set a camera up, pointing north. So let's see what happens. There's almost a full moon, so what we may get are some lovely stars if the moon illuminates them, if it can illuminate them. Anyhow, I was going to point at the moon, but it never comes across right well. So let's see what happens. I don't know if there'll be a light show or anything like that, but it should produce a lovely dawn, if nothing else. If the camera don't blow over or the battery fail. Right, I'm going to settle down. I shall see you in the morning. Good night for the new. Ooh, good morning. How are you today? Good. Oh, it's cool. I've not been up long. It's just after 6:30. But it's a crisp morning this morning. I slept well. I were away off early last night. But for turning over a couple of times, I had a very restful night again, so that's nice. I've not got a lot to do this morning. I've no coffee, I've no breakfast. I've got a snack bar which I'll nibble on the way down, but I'm not going to mess about. I'm going to get packed up and get off this hill and get warmed up in the process, I think. Oh, nice morning. Right, all packed up, and well, I crawled out of my tent at 25 to 7 this morning, and I am walking away from camp at 1 minute to 7. So less than 25 minutes to get up, have a tinkle, pack up and get on my way. It's a lovely morning, but it's not one for loitering. Ooh. Right, I'm going to walk back up towards the trig. I haven't told you where I am, have I? If you haven't already worked it out. Well, I'll walk back up here, pick it up here when we get to the top. Okay, on to back to the top. And if you didn't recognise it from the walk up yesterday, this is Beinn Dubh on the Luss Hills. And a nice camp. Lots of opportunities up here. Last time I was up here was with Tim. Remember Tim?
Oh my.
That was a nice starry night. Anywho, we'll get marching on. We'll catch some of the sights and sounds on the way down. And everything will be good in the world. Time to take a layer off. It's starting to get warm now. Just getting a bit of protection off this slope from the wind, so no point getting too sweaty, is there? Well, welcome back, and that's me about done now. A short, sharp, pleasurable one. It was more about the exercise than the camp, but I am looking forward to a coffee and a bit of snackage when I get home. It is just after 8 o'clock, so it's taken me about an hour to get down, including filming and a chat. Right, well, I hope you've enjoyed it, and thanks for joining me on this little bonus video this week. And well, if you have watched it this far, give yourself a pat on the back. You deserve it. And as for me, well, if I can get a thumbs up, I'll be very grateful. So for now, until the next time, from Loch Lomond, goodbye for the now.